Everyone, welcome to Tarot Delights, the first one. Thanks. And I am Rhonda, and I'm trying to adjust. As you know, we have many technical difficulties.
Yes, the first 2 minutes is us setting everything up.
Exactly. No, we're just heads. We can't be just heads.
No.
I'm gonna have to bring it down a little bit more.
One more book.
One more book.
Go! Everyone goes fly.
Exactly. And off they go. Okay. All right.
There we go.
I think
I
we've
think
got a
that's good.
keeper there.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm Rhonda of Goddess Garage.
I'm Kayla of Wayward Spirit.
And Happy New Year, everyone. So we're what, 11 days into the new
Yes.
year?
12? 11.
11, I think.
Yes.
Considering
No, it's 12. It's 12 today.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I lost track of a day. So when did you your Christmas tree? Or did you put one up?
We didn't put one up in the house, but
Okay.
we went to people's houses that had one up.
Okay.
Us personally, I think it would probably get taken down just before New Year's.
Okay.
But I also understand, I also grew up with a family that lived near us that the Christmas tree went up on December 1st and didn't come down until after New Year's.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I've run the whole gamut.
Okay. See, mine goes up not usually too early. Like my daughter, December 1st. Well,
Yep.
actually, if her husband let her, she'd put it up November 1st.
All right, Halloween and then it's Christmas. That's how it is.
Exactly. Just like Bob's Burgers, right?
Yeah.
But I usually put it up sometime in the first or second weekend of December. I don't put a lot of pressure on myself to by this date, but I do keep it up until at least January 6th because that's Little Christmas.
Okay, you were saying, yeah, I remember
Yeah.
because you guys.
And January 6th is the 12th day of Christmas. So I don't take it down because Christmas is a season like everything else. You know, even the moon phases are seasons. Like they're only 3-day seasons, but they're still seasons, right? And it's like, to me, some of those people that, oh, I take it down like after we wrap presents or Boxing Day. I'm like, okay, so you have all this buildup for one day. It's like, it's not supposed to be one day.
No.
In fact, it's a very modern thing that we open presents on the 25th.
Well, because I remember my dad spent some of his high school years in Germany, and they would always do it on the 24th.
Oh.
So I remember for years, he would tell me, we used to do it on the 24th. And my stepmom got so excited one year when I was visiting for Christmas.
Okay.
That she set everything up and then was like, okay, I can't sleep, wake up the kids. And it was still December 24th.
Yeah, well, the 12 days of Christmas actually start on December 25th,
Okay. And then
And-
go to January.
January 6th.
Okay.
And traditionally speaking, there was lots of, singing and drinking and merriment for the first 11 days of Christmas. And then the 12th day was when you got the presents.
Oh, so you had to wait 12 days.
Yes, yes.
People-
So there was a buildup, but it was a buildup to the 6th of January.
Oh, man.
Because traditionally speaking, that's Epiphany, and that's when the wise men came to see Jesus
Okay.
and gave them their gifts of gold and
Yeah.
myrrh and all that good stuff, frankincense. So that's why traditionally it's been done on the 6th. Now in Russia, it's still done on the 6th.
Oh, so they still have to wait those 12 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. The reason it got moved because of Queen Victoria in England. So she
Okay.
changed it because on the 12th night of Christmas was a night of debauchery. People would just get so drunk and so full of merriment that they were almost, not functional the next day.
We're just going to wait till we get sober up.
So she said, well, we'll start with the presents on the first day of Christmas and let them
Yeah.
sort of, wean themselves back into work.
That's fair. That's fair.
And it's like, so in her reign, that's when it started on the 25th.
See, I always love your little tidbits because I don't always look into the history of things. So I always learn something.
I love history, so yeah, I'm always looking up stuff and I know so much. I don't even know how I cram shit into my head anymore,
Well,
but
you're always reading.
that's true.
So even if you're over here on subject A, you end up on subject M, all the way over in left field,
Yes.
and then you retain some of it because it relates to subject A somehow.
Right? Yeah, it's all tied together.
Yeah.
It's really weird because I know the Tudor history of England very, very well because I've read a lot of books on it. but now I'm coming at it from the Italian view, from the German view.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the German view, I'm reading the Grimm's Brothers. So it's an autobiography, or a biography actually. Auto means you're doing it yourself, so obviously they're dead.
I was
but-
gonna say that'd be a little hard.
That'd be a little hard, especially since they're storytellers and they're dead storytellers telling a story. So this is a biography of the Grimm's brothers. So those of you that know about fairy tales know the Grimm's brothers fairy tales. And what they started out with was trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Not honor, but when you preserve the Germanic language. Because Germany wasn't Germany for a very long time. It was a lot of different states, like there was, Prussia and, all kinds of German names I can't pronounce. If I had Sassy here, she'd be able to pronounce them for me.
Sassy's so good at that.
Oh, well, she's German, so
Yes.
she knows, and she spoke German for most of her life. So
Oh, good for her.
she was born and raised there. When she came to Canada, she couldn't speak English. So it's like, so she had to learn English.
Which is a feat in and of itself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because the English language is a dog's breakfast as far as, rules. Here's the rules, and here's all the exceptions. to
And then
the
just throw
rules.
half the rules out the window.
Yeah.
And then you've got it.
Exactly.
Well, it's even funnier too because like I'm in English this year, but some of the stuff we're reviewing, I'm like, okay, I needed a reminder on that, but how do you guys not know that? Like,
Yeah. Well, it's funny because over the Christmas holidays, Mark and I were talking, and I brought up the old rhyme of two vowels go walking. The first one does the talking.
Yeah.
And he had never heard that. I'm like, what? He's like, I just memorized 1,000 different words when I didn't need to.
Oh, well, it's hard because like I know depending on like what era of school you go to,
Yeah.
how they explain things.
Yeah.
So, and I understand if you know better, you can do better. So like as we've been taught things, and it's still the same thing. It's just wrapped in a different packaging.
Right, yeah.
Because a lot of what my kids are learning, and the kicker is sometimes I get to hear it in French too. Then I'm like, oh, that makes so much more sense. Why does it make more sense in French?
Because French is more organized. French is not a dog's breakfast, right?
Okay. So like then I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. But then there's other things like today they were talking about plural nouns and I'm hoping they were reviewing them, but like I'm like, you guys should know what nouns are and how to pluralize them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're in a what?
I'm a grade 7-8.
7-8. Yeah.
Yeah.
They should know that.
So
by
I'm
now.
hoping, so like I wasn't paying that much attention to the lesson because I was dealing with something else. But in my head I'm like, do you guys not know this? Like
Yeah.
when it gets to the nitty gritty stuff, there's a lot that we've done so much and it's just drilled into you over and over and over. And because if you go to post-secondary, it's so much beyond that you forget that some of the simpler stuff exists.
Yeah,
So like I've
because-
done that. So
yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that's still a rule. Cool. 'Cause
But
I
when
haven't-
it comes down to it, you know it's a rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether or not I remember how to use it is a different story. It's more with math that I'm like, I can't help you.
Yeah.
They were doing fractions for the longest time. I'm like, no.
And now they've got the new math, which yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
What?
So I just found it really interesting. And then like today was the first day we had everyone back because last week was such a gong show with the weather. That we had
Right.
like 3 different snow days.
Okay.
So by the end of the week, everyone's like, just start on Monday. Screw
Right,
it. Just
yeah.
don't even bother.
Yeah, winter in school in Canada is a hit or miss kind of
Yeah.
thing,
So I feel like this Monday was our first Monday back.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this is one of my Christmas presents.
Ooh.
So I'm finding out the biography. Right now, we're just still in the child's part, like where they're 3 and 4.
Okay.
Willem and Jacob Grimm kind of thing. But a lot of people have come up to me and said, "Oh, I love fairy tales too. I've read all the old ones, the Grimm stories."
Are you sure?
And and it's like, are you sure? But also, the Grimms are actually considered modern, not
Because there's stuff.
older.
Well, it's like every time someone tells it, they kind of retell
Yeah,
from their perspective, or they modernize it for that time period.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the Grimm's first edition in 1812 was a very unedited version. So there was a lot more darkness. Even they had edited a little bit, and also, like you say, a lot of the fairy tales were oral, so everybody kind of had their own slant on it. And in 1815, they brought out a second edition, and it was very bleached at that point. Because a lot of people were, like the church in particular, were like, oh, you can't have, well, a lot of stepmothers, were mothers in the original versions.
Yep.
And it just made it seem less terrible if it was a stepmother.
And then that's how the stepmoms got the bad rap.
Yes.
And it's really not true. Stepmoms are great.
Stepmoms are great, but also mothers can be just as bad as
Yeah.
stepmothers, right? Like, nobody's perfect, first of all. But I mean, especially the kind of fairy tales that were told from ages ago, they were really living these kind of things. Like the story of Hansel and Gretel, where the stepmom in the Grimm's version takes the children out to the woods and blah, blah, blah. Well, they were having to make those kind of decisions back in the day.
Because there wasn't enough food to go around.
Well, there was famine
Yeah.
and crops would go bad. Like there was famine to the point of, I remember reading this in one of my Italy history books. They would grind up bark and use it as flour because there wasn't enough flour
Well, that was like, Josh and I were
to make bread, just basic bread.
I'm gonna butcher what show this is, and you might know it because it seems like right up your alley what you would watch. The Food War thing.
Oh,
like-
I think I saw a little bit of it.
So we were watching an episode between Kellogg and Post.
Oh,
The
yeah,
two families
okay.
that war breakfast essentially.
Yeah.
But they were talking about how they used to they were trying to come up with a way to preserve food, and they were talking about the background of
Just some grapes in case we want.
thank you. They were talking about the background and how the preservation of food wasn't happening, and then things would go bad, and then how they would attempt to. So you talking about bark made me think of all the things they used to add to things to try to preserve it, and I'm just like, I'm so
Make
glad.
the shelf life longer.
I'm so glad we live in today.
Well, actually, it's kind of weird because it's still going on today. But when the Vietnam War happened, they, I remember reading an article, they had a bunch of Vietnamese bodies of soldiers who had died, and they had sort of lined them up. And they had a bunch of American soldiers that had died, and they lined those guys up, getting them ready for burial and
Yeah, I
stuff.
remember you telling me about those.
And the American soldiers didn't decay as fast as the Vietnamese because we have so much formaldehyde in our bread, in our cereal, in lots of boxed things that we eat, crackers and stuff like that, that we have formaldehyde naturally in our body. Well, not naturally, unnaturally actually. So it's like,
We consume it.
yeah, we consume it. So you don't need it when you die. It's an extra charge, by the way. So save yourself some money.
It's expensive to.
Oh yeah. And they
Sorry, I'm
make
not
it-
trying to get macabre here, but
No, but they make it sound like, because I've been at funeral directors or funeral homes where I'm saying what needs to be done with the body and blah, blah. And they will slide it over like, well, we'll do the formaldehyde and here's the coffin and blah, blah, blah. And they make it sound like it's just all part of the package. But
really, it doesn't have to be.
no. And we don't really need it as North Americans because
No.
we consume so much in our lifetime. We got days before we start to get stinky.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And I was just reading about, I can't even, sometimes I don't even remember where I got it from, but I was reading about, it was the 1,000 deaths of kings and queens over the course of history.
Okay.
And a lot of them, they've done now, sort of after the fact autopsies when they've been allowed to.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of cool. It went way back, and it's in English history, right?
Yeah.
So some of these kings and queens died not in England.
Okay.
So that in those days they didn't have formaldehyde to put in the bodies. So, they had to bring them back to England, but they're on a ship coming back to England with a stinky, smelly corpse. That's, one guy didn't want his entrails taken out outside of England. So there was a lot of blood and stuff.
Because everything just stays with you.
Yeah, because when you first die, you go into rigor mortis and
Yeah.
get really stiff. But then you come out of rigor mortis and you're as loose
Yeah.
as you were when you're living.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that if you press on the body, the fluid has to go somewhere and it will find a way out. I mean, a lot of gases get released,
Well, it's like that.
naturally speaking.
It's like when you put water in a bag. It's only
Yes.
infinite. There's only infinite ways the water can go.
Yes, yes.
The kids are talking about water displacement in class. And
Oh,
I was trying to
okay.
explain.
Bringing science
Yeah,
into it.
bringing science. Yeah, so I was trying to explain water displacement and I think it's I remember seeing this on a TV show. It was probably Bill Nye, but it also like Eureka made me think of it because he's the bathtub guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, you fill it up and then you get in the bathtub and it displaces the water and people
Yeah.
are like, how does that happen? And then yeah.
Yeah, displacement's pretty cool when you first learn about it. And I mean, it makes sense when you learn about it, but then you're like, oh, wow, that's cool. I can put a label to this. And yeah, like, I mean, traditionally speaking, they would take the
Everything out.
everything out. They would often try to preserve the heart and the
Yep.
brain. Those are they would-
Spiritual. Yeah.
and like, you know, in a lot of places where there might be saints, you can find their heart preserved there, and that's part of the sign of a saint,
Yep.
kind of thing. But yeah, like you usually had less than 3 days before
Things got stinky.
Yeah.
Nowadays you might have a few more.
And some kings and queens wanted an autopsy and some said no.
Yep.
So
Well, I mean, considering how, like, not viable, but like how contested the thrones were in
Oh,
some parts
yeah.
of history.
yeah.
I would always want an autopsy because what's the likelihood that you were probably killed by somebody?
Yeah,
Very
that
high.
you were poisoned, which was
Yeah.
very common back
Yeah.
in the day, right? And so, yeah, like, why wouldn't you want to know? But there were some that didn't.
Interesting.
It's like, okay, sure. And then there's some that were put in one place and then dug up and put in another place.
Yep.
And during Victorian times, they talk about macabre. They were extremely macabre, but that would have been my generation. I'd be like, yeah, I'm all over this. They would take out coffins just to look at the bones.
Well, I mean, I feel like that was the start of like medicine, right? Like that was the start of like getting curious and like this just doesn't happen because that's the cycle of death. And like, what if we did this? And so like that experimentation era.
Well, yeah, it very much. There was a lot of leaps and bounds as far as medicine, and like fingerprinting was first a thing in the late 1800s. Can you imagine what a great criminal you could be before fingerprints? And now they have
Get away with
DNA,
everything.
and you can't go anywhere without someone seeing you through a camera, or you're sneezing somewhere and leaving DNA.
Well, like I'm surprised that we still have cold cases with how much
Right?
like
Yeah.
they can track and
Yeah.
leave fingerprints and
I-
da 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 da.
I have to question some of these cold cases. Like, how hard were they really looking?
Well,
You know?
that's it. Or like, did something get mishandled? And
Yeah.
so like to take it out of like.
I mean,
murder-
I know it's not, you know, a Law and Order episode. It's
Yeah.
not like in 24 hours they'll know everything.
Yeah. We gotta wrap the storyline up.
And like in Law and Order, they're always sending things to, you know, be tested.
Yeah.
Put a rush on it. It's like you put a rush on everything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the real world, they don't put a rush on everything.
No. And it takes like months
Yeah.
before you even see something, or sometimes years, who knows.
Oh, I hope not.
But yeah, I mean, Victorian times were also when they used to take pictures of the dead.
Yes, I remember that.
I don't know why that stopped.
Well, I find it fascinating,
Me too.
but I could understand where, because correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
in some Native American tribes
Yes.
or Aboriginal tribes, is it like they want no photography?
Yeah, a lot of them used to believe that
The soul can be taken out through your eyes.
through your
Okay.
through a camera shot,
Yeah.
like something that can take your image.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's so true anymore, especially with social media and the selfies. I'm
Oh, yeah,
sure,
probably.
I'm
But,
sure
like,
Indigenous people are doing it just as much as
As
Caucasians.
we've like come into like knowing more and things like that, I feel like there's less. I mean, it's less mystery, but it's also less storytelling too, because like
Yes.
we told stories to pass on lessons and to like warn people about things and to lessons good or bad. Like we would pass on stories that way, and now we don't do it as much because everything's just out there. And
Right.
information.
But I was at a family funeral just a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I was sort of saying to my daughter, would it be bad form for me to take a picture of the coffin? You know? And it, like in this day and age of social media, I don't know. I mean, not that I was looking to post it. I wasn't going to be like, here's a, you know.
Here's my Aunt Betty.
Yeah. Exactly.
Or great Aunt Betty, I should say. Most of my aunts are still alive. I should bring it back.
Here's grandma.
goodness.
You know, because I mean, they
My mom would
did
have a heart
that,
attack.
right? But I mean, I suppose we have a gift in a way of, because we do take so many pictures in this society now,
Yeah.
we can see pictures of loved ones when they were alive
Mm-hmm.
in the way that they couldn't. You know, you'd have a portrait maybe if you were well off. It's peasants wouldn't have portraits of each other, but kings and queens often did, and royalty often did, and
So at
lords and
funerals
ladies.
or weddings is when you got portraits done.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's, I could see that's where you take pictures.
Yeah, and but also, you know, they would have a portrait of, you know, a queen that maybe died or whatever, but the artist always painted to the queen's favor or the king's favor. So it's not like you're like if they were huge and ugly, he'd try to minimize that
Yeah,
a little
slim
bit.
them down a little bit.
Yeah, slim
Yeah.
them down, take the wart off the nose, you know, whatever it was, kind of
Whatever,
thing.
because you want the picture to be approved, essentially.
Right,
Yeah.
because I mean, especially if you're an artist of a king or queen, you could lose your head if you didn't do it the way they perceived themselves, right? Because Henry VIII always saw himself as very muscular and athletic and powerful, and he was one of the tallest kings. He was 6'2", so he wasn't a big or a small guy,
Yeah.
but he was a big boy. And he was very athletic at the very beginning and youth of his life. But near the end, as he slowed down, because he got a hunting accident, so he couldn't walk on his leg. And of course, it got gangrene in it. And
All the lovely things that come
they
with
would pour
stuff
liquid silver into it.
to try and cauterize.
Yes, and then they would bleed him because back in the day, they thought leeches were, your humors aren't balanced. Let's bleed you. And so he started to get overweight, of course. So he was
Yeah.
overweight and smelly because people found it hard to be in a room with him later in life because
Yeah.
the gangrene and rot in his legs smelled so bad that they would often wear, what are they called? Not pomegranates, but those little posies right near their
Nose. So
Nose
you're
and
like,
mouth.
you're smelling the posy, not the room.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they'd be like, and ladies would keep them behind their fans so that they could sort of try and fan away the smell.
It's all the things you used to do that modern, but we just don't think about that kind of stuff, right?
Right, and a friend of mine, you know her, Diane, she
Yep.
was saying her dad said to her one time, you know, we're not as musty as we used to be. Because, you know, they didn't bathe as often because water was quite a,
Luxury.
luxury. It was,
And now it's like a human right. You're supposed to be able to have water.
yeah, and yet so many of the indigenous
No,
communities
yeah.
has to still boil their water. It was
That's
only
not right.
last year or the year before, I think, that even my reservation was off the boil.
Okay.
So
I
it's,
still think that's horrible. There should be, we don't live in a third world country. Everyone should have access
so no
to
one
water.
should be living in a third world
situation.
situation. Exactly.
Well, and I find it interesting. So a friend of mine moved up to northern Ontario, and I can't think, like beyond Sioux Lookout.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's north.
Yeah, that's north. And so she like met her husband up there, and like she went up there for a job and reconnect with somebody, and like they're married, they have kids, but like they're on the waiting list to get their own house.
Oh, wow.
Because it's generational. Like they live with his parents and
Mm.
like
Wow.
so they're waiting to like it's a whole situation. And then she had to explain to him what rent was because he had no concept of that because they don't pay for their housing apparently.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I was like, so it's just the differences, and it's like we don't talk that often because I know her like our schedules are very different, and we're never like off at the same time to have a conversation. But
Right.
some of the things she was saying, I'm like, how?
Yeah, but their
that's-
sugar is also $10 a bag.
Yes, and, like yeah,
So-
but they also don't have the like if something runs out, they have to wait for
Yeah.
a plane to come in.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't cheap to live up north whether you're paying rent or not.
No, it's not.
But I thought for this Tarot Delights, we would look at beginnings and endings.
I like that
because
side.
Janus is the god of January. That's what January is named after. And Janus is the two-faced god, the one that's looking back and the one that's looking forward. So very often this time of year, people are reflecting on what did I do last year? How do I want to improve this year? I get a lot of New Year readings I just put up a post about,
I saw that. I
Yeah.
was like, I need to book in for that too.
yeah, we definitely got to get you booked in for that. So, it's a lot of people won't go without a New Year reading because it truly is their roadmap of, it's not a forecast. What it is a roadmap to tell you, should you lay low this month? Should you be working at something? Where should your focus go? All that kind of stuff, right? So it gives you a good heads up. And I can't tell you, I've been doing this probably over 10 years now, this particular reading. And every year I get tons and tons of messages of, you said this and this is what happened. And,
No, it's definitely very useful. I've used it in the past, and I found it extremely helpful because even when I'm like, there was like someone 1 month last year where I was like indecision about something, and I had to like reference back to it. And I was
Right.
like, oh, okay, yes, no, I remember you saying blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
whatever it was. And it helped like steer me to whatever needed to happen. So there's definite, I can definitely see the positives. And even if it doesn't make sense when you first get it,
yeah, because it probably
let it-
won't.
let it sit and marinate for a little bit
Yeah.
and go back.
Yeah, because September, you don't know what's going to happen in September, neither do I.
Yeah.
But it's weird, like I do my own New Year reading. And yeah, there's been times where I've gone back when, like you say, when you're at that crossroads or at that indecision, it's like, okay, well, let's listen to what October has to say. It's like, okay, that makes sense, and it kind of helps bring clarity, I find, anyways. And that's what I've gotten a lot of messages about. Of,
Nice.
it brought clarity, or it just, plain and simple came true, and all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes I get it so it's just a direct message. Tell her to do this.
And if she listens, she listens. If she doesn't, she doesn't.
Yeah, it's always your choice
Yeah.
to listen
Oh, yeah.
or not, right? And I
Always
tend to
good.
tap into spirit guides and animals and past loved ones and angels and stuff. So I feel I'm channeling that for the person, for their right and higher good, right?
Well, I feel like everything should be guided by like the best of intentions and like the highest good of the person getting the reading. But
Yeah.
that's just me.
Yeah, and well, I try to take my ego out of it.
Yep.
Because I don't want to be right. I want to be correct for you for whatever you need. Whether
Yeah.
you acknowledge it or not, doesn't matter. Because ultimately I'm getting it from your angels anyway. So,
Or like say this.
yeah, say this. Or I'll get, I don't know how you do tarot readings, because everyone's different, but I'll get a lot of repetition because I jokingly say, the angels know we're stupid.
Well, we don't often listen right away. Like Josh has always said, like until I think it's my idea, I don't
Right.
go for it. So like,
Right.
what was it? Like I think it was school. I was fighting for the whether I should split third year or not. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And Josh was like, just do it. Just split it. It's gonna suck, but like it'll help you in the long run. Do you think I listened to him right away? No, I hemmed and hawed for another 3 months. When I
Yeah.
really could have just listened to the advice of the people around me and probably made the decision 3 months and I'm worried a lot less.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
we're inherently stupid.
Yeah, and like speaking of which, I did have that sort of thing. The fact that you brought up school, like there was a lady that needed to go back to school, for instance, and I kept hearing school, 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 and they'll get louder and they'll start repeating it faster if I don't say it to the client.
Yeah. They're like, hey, you didn't say this here. I need you to say this here. They need to know now.
Because it's like, like I got to take the filters off, right?
Yeah.
And I got to say, and whether I say, I don't know why they're saying this, but this is what they're saying. Sometimes they'll give me a word, sometimes they'll give me a phrase. But if I say it, then it stops, right? So, and I'm not crazy.
She only hears the voices during the tarot reading.
Yes, I really only hear the voices during tarot readings. So, if I hear a voice and I hear it again saying the same word, then I'm like, okay, I got to mention this. And I've learned so that they don't get so loud that I'm like, okay,
Well,
I
and it's
can't hear
also,
anybody.
too, like, if you're not willing, so like, have you ever? So like, this is more when I'm done reading for myself, which I mean, I'm not really supposed to do, but sometimes like,
It's okay to do it, but sometimes it's good to have someone that doesn't have skin in the game.
yeah,
to kind of give you.
Well, it's funny because the cards know when I don't listen to them because I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and then I'll go about my day and or like week or whatever I'm doing, and then if it's something that's like I'm really kind of battling with, and I'll like do the cards again, and they're like, you didn't listen to it, so here's the same cards,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, the cards don't play.
No, they don't.
So they will slap you with the truth whether you want it or not.
Yep.
And sometimes too, what I find interesting is when you get into a reading and you're like, okay, I want to focus on this. Like, say you wanted a love reading, and so like, this is why I don't offer like advertise love readings because every time someone's come to me for a love reading, the cards have went, you're not here for a love reading.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I'm not meant to give people love readings, and I realize that's a bread and butter for some people.
Yeah.
I wish I could do it, but every time I'm like, yeah, you're not here for a love reading.
Right, right.
So even if you think you're here for a love reading, you're not.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
It's only because it's happened like 5 or 6 times.
Okay. Okay.
Like this isn't something I'm like, oh, okay, like the cards are just not saying anything about love. Like it's you think you're here for no, this is all sorts. This is not
right.
like it could be like
Heartbreak or
heartbreak
something.
or something. I mean, I can read it that way if you want me to, but like my gut is saying
Yeah.
education law, like
Right,
something.
right.
Are you having a divorce? Like
Yeah.
not that I wanna start the new year off with a divorce.
No. No.
Not for myself anyway.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're happily married now.
I am.
You are a happily married woman.
Yes.
So beginnings are often aces. And I love aces. I love it when they come into a reading because I know it's a new beginning for someone, right? So there's speaking of swords, there's my ace of swords. And they often open doors. So often what I will do, not always, but often, I will draw another card.
I love that because
Yeah.
it adds more clarity.
Well, you want to know what, you can't just tell someone there's a door, it's going to open. What's behind the door?
What do you mean there's a door?
Yes, exactly. And I love my Ace of Pentacles.
Oh, I love that one.
Isn't that a beautiful
Yes.
one? A stag with a big golden pentacle and
Crystals in this deck.
oh, okay.
So my swords are runes,
Okay.
and I don't know. I
Well, that makes sense because
played
they
with- yeah.
communicate, right?
Yes, that's true. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love too that the sword in my card has a dove on it.
Ooh.
And so the dove is the messenger of God, right?
Mm-hmm.
The symbol of peace. And if you know how to communicate with yourself, with the divine, and with people in your life, you're at peace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, I really love that. And I love I love all of them, but the
Yep.
Ace of Cups is awesome because you got the moon in all her phases, right? And you got that big giant eye and some calm waters with beautiful koi and golden fish swimming around. And of course, your cup is always overfloweth because
Yep.
when you're in love, your cup does overflow. And, and then you see the world in a different way, right? Some might call it rose-colored glasses, because when you're in love, you see things in a better way. But really, you're seeing stuff in the way that the divine sees it. Because the divine created all of this. I often tell people, because some people wear it like a badge. I'm interrupting my own talk, but they wear it like a badge that they beat themselves up with their inner monologue. Oh, yes, my inner monologue is just awful. And it's
So
like,
then change it.
Yeah. Well, I could
You
never.
are in control of your inner monologue.
Some people don't feel like that.
That's true. Trust me. Sorry, you guys don't know me. But like, for example, 5-10 years ago, I was not a happy camper. Like inner monologue was.
Yeah.
It took some good hard solid work and some shadow work, and that inner monologue can shift, but you gotta
It
want to do
can.
it.
But one, you have to do it. And two, what I like to point out to people is that you are a divine being. I am a divine being. Everybody is divine here. And the creator, God, goddess, whatever you want to call it, created you. You special, right? And you are beautiful in their eyes. Who are we to insult them and go, no, I'm awful? It's like taking a 5-year-old's drawing and telling the 5-year-old it looks like shit.
Oh my gosh, the 5-year-olds draw the best stuff.
Yeah, they do. They don't need any prompting.
No,
They
no.
just do.
I love how you could have like one stroke on a piece of paper and the entire story that comes out of a 5-year-old
Yes.
is phenomenal.
And if we acted more like 5-year-olds,
It's true.
we'd be better people.
In some ways.
In some ways, yes.
And the being able to keep your hands off of each other.
Yes.
Not so much.
In the reasonable way, as far as like we've reached the age of reason, we know, you don't take things from others, you don't push other people, you don't hit them, the temper
Still working on
tantrums
explosives.
still happen with adults, trust me.
You do.
But learning that we are all divine, because again, I always say, if you wouldn't say it to a 5-year-old, don't say it to yourself.
Yep.
Because it's the 5-year-old, the inner child that everyone talks
you were
about.
going on the inner child work.
Yeah.
And it's very important to do. Like, I think there's a fundamental difference in how people see themselves before they've done inner child work and after.
Yeah.
Whether you go to a traditional therapist, whether you see a tarot reader, whether you do a shadow work booklet, like whatever, just start the work.
Yeah, start the work and keep in mind, speak to yourself like you're 5. Because the 5-year-old inside you carries everything you say to her or him or them or whoever. Whoever you are on the inside, again, just say it like you would to a 5-year-old and you will find better peace than you've ever felt before. And more contentment, I find too.
I wish I had found that out a lot sooner in life.
Well, there's all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but you found out when you were ready to.
You know better, you do better.
Yeah, and information is brought to you, and you transmute it into your being when you're ready. Whether it's you heard it 10 years ago and just now.
Well, it's about exposure. So like, there's such thing as like, everyone has. So when you take in information, okay, let's do this. So when you and I first started talking, it was over Facebook, and I don't think I took you up on your first offer.
No,
I think it took a
Probably
couple
not.
of offers. So it's about exposure. So even when you learn languages and stuff, we're constantly immersing ourselves in language, and we're constantly getting stuff thrown at us like through the internet.
yeah,
But-
bombarded a lot.
Very much so. But if you want to learn something, it's about exposure. You're supposed to expose yourself to whatever you're learning or experience it. Like, I think neurotypicals say, like, I'm throwing out a number. Don't quote me. There are papers that have done this work, and I will probably try and find them. But if you find them, throw them in the chat, and
Yeah,
I'll
please
vet
do.
them as well. But say, for example, you're learning a language, and you want to learn how to say the word circle in French. So you need to practice that word circle in French like 5,000 times.
Oh, okay. Wow.
3 to 5,000. I don't know. I think it's like 1 to 3 for neurotypical and more to 5 if you're neurospicy.
Okay.
And it's the more exposures you have, the more easier it's going to be for your brain to create that neural pathway.
Right.
So, and it's like that with anything in life. You want to learn how to ride a bike. You want to learn how to like cook. Like, keep doing those skills over and over and over again. It'll become easier.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, that's why, language immersion, like French immersion, works so well because you're being immersed in it. And that's why, when I'm studying history, I do tend to study, that part or that time period from many different books because everyone's got a different
Yeah.
perspective. And like you've told me many times, there's your side, my side, and the truth, right? And learning it from all angles. And like I said earlier, I know a lot about the Tudor history, but now I'm learning it from the Italian point of view because England influenced Italy. I'm learning it from the German point of view.
For library.
I have a minimum 3 to 4 books I'm reading at any one time. So, it's good to, keep spiraling in or out, whichever way you want to go. I see it as a spiral out when I'm learning things like that and taking it from different points of view. I've read the queen's point of view, I've read the king's point of view, I've read, the peasant's point of view and that sort of thing. Because I'm reading a book. It's titled The World Lit Only by Fire.
Ooh.
So it's during medieval dark age time.
Yeah.
Now, the author is hilarious because in his introduction, he talks about how some people have said it's insulting to say the dark ages because it's,
But it was the Dark Ages.
yeah. And he's like, and first of all these people are dead. There's none of them around to take offense anymore. So
Well, I find it funny because we've been cleaning the house and I've noticed our living room has like a lack of light.
okay.
So if we don't have the lamps, because we had to unplug the lamps to clean under something,
Oh, okay, yep.
we can't use the living room past a certain point.
Because it's a
too dark.
complete darkness.
And I'm just like, how did we live without electricity? Like,
I know, right?
Like,
and
we would
electricity's pretty new.
yeah.
I mean, it really only was common in the last century, and it's just like, yeah. And sometimes I look at old houses and go, how did they rewire these buildings? Some of these buildings have been around forever.
Because it would not make, like, don't get me wrong. I get how it's easier to, like, build something from the ground up and you have it on the skeleton. 'Cause, like, Josh watches a lot of home building YouTube stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because eventually he wants to build a house and he wants to do the majority of it himself, which
Okay.
jury's out on that in my opinion. But,
Yeah.
but, like, so it makes more sense. As you're going, add the electrical.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like, as you said, with old buildings, you can't do that. You have to, like, figure out how to.
You
I'm
can't
just, like,
always do that. No.
I marvel because I'm just like, we take it for granted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, we take it for granted.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we lived in an old house on Macdonell Street for a while in Kingston, and we had to have it rewired to bring it up to code. And that was a freaking nightmare, because I lost some dishes because they were on shelves and the wires had to come down here. And the real nightmare was our electrician died of a heart attack halfway through the job.
Hopefully unrelated to the job.
Yes.
Okay.
Unrelated
I was
to the
like,
job.
did he like die in your house?
No, no,
Oh
no.
my goodness.
But his wife came by, I think it was, his wife, and she's like, yeah, he won't be back. And it was just, it was sad at the time. I was like, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. But now it's kind of funny.
Because you're like, okay, we gotta get a new guy. And the guy's probably gonna look at half the job and go, what was he thinking?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like, oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, so we were half wired up.
And then you're like, oh, by the way, we gotta wait for a bit.
Yeah. And it was right around Christmas time. I remember that too, because I was just losing my mind because when I was told he was gone and, our house was a wreck because of all the rewiring, and it's like, no one's going to take a job now before Christmas.
So you have to wait till after Christmas.
Yeah.
There's just more delays. Yeah.
Yeah, it was yeah, I got through it.
One of those days where you're like, glad to see the other side. Wish it didn't have to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Would I have handled it differently? I don't know, maybe. Who knows? But it is part of my quilt of life. And the more experience you have, the bigger your quilt gets. So the warmer you can become.
It's true. I was talking to a kid. It's surreal to me to talk to these kids that are so young, in my opinion, dealing with things that like I dealt with in high school, and they're dealing with it like just with like social media and peer pressure and like other things, and so like I'm trying to ask the right things but not ask too much because I don't want to scare them off.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, do you
yeah.
have someone to talk to if you're feeling this way? Okay, good. Like I can be that person, but like I want you to have someone else too. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
can't
I
always
mean,
be
this
around.
generation coming up is going to be an interesting generation. I know a lot of people bitch because they're like, oh, they're so entitled and blah, blah. And there is that aspect.
But like they
But
have
since
so much
caveman
on
days,
them.
well, since caveman days, every generation bitches about the generation below with their,
Yeah.
their caveman hoods that they now wear. And
Some of the things you just let go, and other times I usually don't get on their cases unless it's like a safety issue.
right.
But like some of them, they'll look at me like, okay, and I'm like, listen, we perfected that look. Don't even try.
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's not my first rodeo.
Yeah. I know what you're trying to pull.
And we all try to pull the same stuff when we're little, and we think we're so good at it.
Oh my God, it's so much fun watching too, because you're just like, you're gonna do this, aren't you? And they're like, how did you know? I'm like, because I'm 30 whatever, and I've thought about what you're gonna do already.
Yeah,
Like, I was you at one point. Well, even Josh, because like he has a grade 7 class right now, and but he was that kid like that got in trouble, that got kicked out, and he's like, teaching in a classroom. So he's like, if you've tried it, I've already done it, so don't even.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and it's interesting. Like this generation has a lot of technology at its fingertips,
and some of it's not a good thing.
No, and some of it's not a good thing, and it's not a good thing for some adults either.
Oh gosh, no.
But they're having to have a lot bombarded at them at any one time, and it's not normal for us to have these length attention spans, but that's what's developing.
Well, and that's it. And like even so my YouTube algorithm, this is why I have multiple accounts, because some of them is like goes down cold case files, and some of them is like tarot related, and thank God I have more than one account.
There's one that goes to the aliens.
Yeah, no. I draw the line at the aliens. As soon as I start getting like lizard people and aliens, I'm like, okay, I went too far in one direction. Let's claw it back. Actually, that was my TikTok when I first got TikTok. Because like I liked Witch Talk for a little bit, and then like it's gone toxic. So like, but as soon as I know I can go to Witch Talk, but as soon as it starts going lizard people, I gotta claw my way back.
Right.
Because I'm like, no, that's the line.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't go into too many conspiracies. But with everything and people like they're talking about AI psychosis.
Okay.
Because sorry, this is like
and there's a lot of fear around AI.
Well, there is a lot of fear around AI, and I get it. But like people also aren't allowing themselves to be bored. Like I went to the doctors. I went to the doctors the other day.
Yeah.
Because you have to go to the doctors.
Yeah.
I was freaking the frick out because I forgot my headphones.
Oh.
And I was just like, I'll get
so
through
you
this.
just had to sit there.
I just had to sit there.
Because they don't have magazines anymore.
Nope, don't have magazines. Like I had my phone, which I forced myself not to look at because I was like, I can do this. I can like make, googly faces at the baby, trying to make him laugh because there was a little guy there that was probably not too happy. And it wasn't that much of a wait, but like we can't, like we have created crutches.
Oh, we have 100%. Yeah, because I know I started it out at the farm where the exercise I was given by a mentor of mine was to sit for 15 minutes, starts with 15 minutes, and just watch the world go by. You're not writing, you're not reading, you're
Kids
not
wouldn't
on
really
your
do that.
phone.
They would go squirrely.
Yeah, well, nowadays I tell my clients, sit for 1 minute, because that's what most people can start at maybe. And sit for 1 minute because it's a form of meditation, right? And there are moving meditations, but people think it's busy meditation. It's like, no, it's to do something deliberately. So one skill to really develop is learning to just sit and watch the world go by without it having to entertain you, without you having to entertain it. You're just observing. And what I really loved about the Anne Rice books, the Witches series that she did.
Oh.
So she did a Witches series, which is actually really good. So there is a organization or society or whatever they call it that have been studying people like the witches, the vampires. Because I think that is the one thread that carries through all her trilogies and novels and stuff. So what they do is for the witches, there was a old family of witches, generational, and they have observed every generation. They have not interfered. They have not come in contact necessarily.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's almost like they're observers.
They're observers.
That isn't read stories, and even Charmed had a plot line where there was case in point, Charmed is the 3 sisters, but they had a white lighter, which was like their guardian angel. But the white lighters could only intervene so much.
Okay.
And for the most part, they were the observers.
Okay.
So like that's what it made me think of.
Right.
But that is a really interesting perspective. It's like the angels.
Yeah.
Like you can call upon the angels, be like, hey, can you help me here?
Yeah.
But it's their choice of whether they want to intervene.
No, it's your choice of whether you want them to intervene.
Okay. Sorry, I got that wrong.
Because it's part of our free will contract. They can't interfere in you making a bad choice if you have not asked for help.
Okay.
You are allowed to make a bad choice.
Yeah.
There are consequences, of course.
Yeah.
And the angels are probably screaming at you, going,
Don't
Kayla,
do it! Over
just
here!
ask me to help.
Yeah. You didn't ask for help. What are you
I will
doing?
make your head look this way to see the right choice.
This way's the right choice. Not over here.
Meanwhile, we're like,
You know, let's go right. Well, no, and I find that fascinating because it takes so much willpower on like the observer to be like, if I just did this, why can't we help them? And
Exactly. That's why it's such a powerful meditation to just observe. Because what you're doing is the same thing the angels are doing, right? So you're incorporating some of that divine. And they often talk about meditation is that never ending prayer, that never ending space of being in the divine within yourself, right? And yeah, like we're losing that humanity and that divinity within ourselves by not being able to just sit.
well, we're also losing the ability to be bored because like that that triggers your creative process. I think.
Yep.
And I was like, I heard that somewhere. It's
I read an article about that, and you're absolutely right. Yes.
Because I think you and I have spun around this a couple of times. Because
Yeah.
like the kids aren't able to be bored. Even they can't even wait in line. It's like bonkers how much because we kids weren't they weren't being well today, so we had to like walk back to gym. A couple. They were like, "Okay, you can't be quiet in the hall. We're gonna do it all over again."
Right.
And like, concept,
Yeah.
but to them it is.
I think meditation, and not guided meditation.
No.
Because that's guided visualization. But learning to sit in silence just for a couple of minutes at the beginning of the day.
They can't even stand for O Canada.
Oh my God.
So,
And
like,
yet
some-
we enable that sometimes too. Well, they're, you know, they're just not worked out that way. They're not patterned that way. They're on some spectrum or whatever it might be. Now, there's always exceptions.
There is always exceptions. Because
to the
like I have a
rule.
couple of kids that there's no way they'd stand for O
Yeah,
Canada.
now,
but like the
autism-
majority of them totally could. They just won't.
Yeah. And it used to be back in the day, you know, like children were seen and not heard. Now, that's a very strict rule to have. But there's some benefit to it, both for the child and the adult. One, you have a well-behaved child, and two, the child has to learn how to wait,
Yeah.
how to be quiet and still,
What is that concept?
right? It's like this whole, like, what drives me nuts is parents who think that what their child has to say is the most important thing in their lives. I get listening to your child, letting them express themselves. Absolutely, I do that. But the parent that gets down on the ground with their kid goes, okay, Kayla, you're beautiful and lovely. What do you have to say? And I've even seen parents interrupt their adult conversations.
No.
to-
You go, hang on, you can take a couple breaths. Let me finish up here and
Yeah,
then we'll talk.
We've started this
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
You don't just get to.
Oh man, I had one kid a couple years ago and just raging ADHD, and it took us all year. The teacher and I would purposely have conversations because we knew they would come up and interrupt us and be like, "Nope, you got to wait a second."
Right.
Because we were trying to instill that like you got to wait till people are done talking before you just blurt
Well, you
whatever.
have to learn how to wait your turn and
Yeah.
go in on your turn, because otherwise you're going to get punched out in the real world. Because I've seen people
Yeah.
beat each other up for less than, you know, cutting in line or
But like
interrupting.
even driving, like
Oh my God, yeah.
that's a whole other like.
Well, I saw one guy, there was a car wash. This was about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And there was kind of two lines starting to form. It was summertime, so everybody was getting their car washed.
Okay.
And I was about 3 cars back from the first line. So this second line started quasi-started by accident. And I guess they thought they were just going to zipper in.
Okay, I mean, I would be okay with zipper. If for
Yeah.
some reason 2 lines started, I'd be like, okay, you zipper it, you go first, then this
Yeah.
car, then this car, then yeah,
Now,
that would make sense.
Not everyone understands the zipper, and I think it was because I didn't really look behind me, but I think the lot only allowed for so long on this guy, so that other starts cutting in front of this guy, car's back from. This guy gets out of his car, opens the door to this guy's car, drags him out,
Oh yeah, no.
and beats the holy loving shit out of him.
I've had people so like again, 10 years ago Kayla worked fast food.
Yep.
And like I've had people have arguments in the like drive-through line
Right.
for the
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
For like, you cut me off, and I'm like, guys, it's coffee.
Yeah.
It's not like it's freaking world peace or $1 million. Just chill.
Exactly. But I mean, this is the benefit of teaching our children to wait their turn, because they're going to go out in the real world and they're going to be shocked
Oh, I know.
by how they're received.
Oh, I know. I'm still trying to work. So like, I'm on yard duty, but I'm not actually on yard duty. I'm there
Okay.
for like 3 kids.
Okay,
And
right.
if all of those 3 kids play together, I need to be right there.
Right.
Because it can go sideways real quick.
Okay, yeah,
But they
yeah.
did really well today.
Excellent.
Right? I was like, okay, I'm here just in case, but we're doing okay. But like, it could have went sideways, and like, again, they just don't understand the concept of waiting and the concept of turn taking, and like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's.
But
an
are
issue.
these children probably going to need helpers all their lives?
Some of them, yes.
Okay.
Some of them, maybe not.
Okay.
Like, it depends. I think one of them has the ability to be independent.
Okay.
But like, is very, I think, catered to, and or doesn't get told about like, wait, or like, hey, that's not a good thing to say. So like, I'm fighting what's said at home versus what's said at
Right,
school.
right. Okay.
Which boggles my brain.
Yeah.
Because you think you would want your kid to be successful in the world, and that's all we're doing.
Right?
'Cause,
Because like even Lucy and Annabelle will
Yep.
still want to interrupt. They'll
Yeah.
be like, Nana, Mommy, and we'll both of us will go like this, and
Yeah.
they know that means wait.
Yeah.
So we don't have to tell them to wait,
Yeah.
because it used to be a couple of years ago, often Catherine, because they are often saying Mommy, Catherine would say, you have to wait, I'm finishing this conversation.
Yep.
But because she kept reinforcing that, now both of us just
Are
have
just
to,
like, yeah.
and they know.
Yep.
That's the signal for just wait a second, right? So I mean that's growth, and that's awesome.
Well, and I mean, some kids have the capacity, or most kids have the capacity to learn that, and there will always be a couple of kids, for whatever reason,
That just don't get
that
it.
just don't get it. And it's
And
gonna
again,
be-
if you're autistic, that's a different ball game
oh,
altogether.
100%. I actually there's a PD. I was like, ooh, I like PDs. My skill set's probably about 10 years old at this point, and I could do with some upgrading.
Yeah.
So I've kind of threw my hat in the ring, and hopefully we'll
Oh,
get some sort of
nice.
PD out of.
I mean, I've heard some parents say, well, he's kind of on the spectrum when he hasn't even been diagnosed.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Like I used to be the person I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be able to tell. Like I wouldn't assume that. And da-da-da-da.
Right.
If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's
It's
a duck.
probably a duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, fair.
And you have to be. And I mean,
But it doesn't take much for parents to say they're on a spectrum now.
yeah. And I mean, I feel like it's. And it could have been so like in I don't want to say in my day, but like ADHD was overdiagnosed
Oh, okay. Yeah.
to the point where it was underdiagnosed in girls
Right.
because
Right. See,
I'm-
back in my day, ADHD meant a child who was out of control.
Yeah.
And dyslexia wasn't even a thing.
well, that's it. Like everyone has their thing of like, okay, like this got missed, or like you were able to mask this much, so therefore, because like I totally have undiagnosed ADHD,
Oh, me too.
but like my coping skills are too high, so I don't meet the DSM criteria because it doesn't affect my ADL, so your activities of daily living, and it has to
Yeah.
be a detriment
right.
for. X
So
amount
just
of-
because you have it doesn't mean it's a detriment to
to
your life.
Yeah, because I was able to get an undergrad. I hold a job. I've actually held multiple jobs for a long period of time. I don't. It's not disabling me,
Yeah.
even
it's-
though it is a disability.
Yeah, it's sort of like when someone comes through depression, because as you know, with my story of the twins and stuff, I went into a deep depression, but I didn't get any formal like therapy because of it. I don't think it was even really like I didn't go to my doctor knowing what I'd gone through and go, "Are you doing okay?"
Yeah.
Because that wasn't really a
Which
thing.
nowadays they would be all over that.
They would be all over it.
because
And-
postpartum is can be extremely dangerous if untreated a certain way.
Yeah, and I was actually suicidal, right? And I was suicidal twice in my life, and on the second time I was suicidal, I actually went to my doctor for sleeping pills, and he gave them to me. I just said, oh, I'm not sleeping well. Need some sleeping
Well,
pills.
and that's it. You gotta like so because I have a background, and the last time they were kind of like evaluated as far as like does this medication work for you? And do you maybe you do have anxiety? I was on an upswing, so like I was in a good mood. Therefore, they weren't seeing the anxiety depression,
Right, right.
and it's easier to lie your way out of it.
Oh yeah,
Like
100%.
totally easy.
Well, like it's like my mother-in-law was schizophrenic, and you know, I even got brought before boards and stuff about how awful I was treating her and blah blah blah. I'm like, you don't see her behind closed doors,
No.
you know, and half the shit she's telling you is a lie, and not malicious lie. It's just her reality and her
Yep.
fantasy
Are
are
mixed.
together,
Yep.
right? She was convinced I was trying to poison her. You know why? Because she had just watched a Quincy show about an older woman being poisoned.
Yep. Well, and I mean, media can have a really interesting impact on the psyche, and this is where, like, again, different algorithms. So one of my YouTube algorithms, I'm getting videos about like AI psychosis and whether or not, because like one of my kids, not my kids, all my kiddos at school are my children.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
have
her
any of
kids.
my own. So when I say my kids, I mean my school kids. She was saying she doesn't like to socialize with kids her age, but like she does talk to a lot of AI. And I was like, okay, if like that's fine. If you're feeling really low, you have an adult to talk to, like a human to talk to.
Yeah.
Because AI is really tricky because I've heard of it being helpful, but I've also heard of it go the other way.
Yeah, there you can get a boyfriend or a girlfriend in AI now. Someone you can talk to
Yeah.
when you're feeling lonely.
Yeah.
Now you can clone yourself to become your own therapist.
That's scary.
That's very scary.
Because AI is only useful when it's fed information, and there's no like, you can get scholarly AI. Want to have a therapist? Like, there's no distinction between being fed. So like,
What degree does AI have in psychology?
I have a psychology degree, and I'm not allowed to therapize people.
Yeah.
Like, I need
Right?
a master's for that. So like, who's gatekeeping this? Nobody.
Nobody is.
Oh my
And
God.
they're just dragging shit off the internet.
Yeah,
Right?
and I mean it's scary, and I mean like, and don't get me wrong, some people could say the same thing about tarot, like, oh, how is this helpful? It's helpful because we look at the cards, we look at the cards and how they relate to your life, and then we give you a jumping off point
Yeah.
and go, do you want to make this decision or do you want to make this decision? Or
And sometimes just talking about it
Yeah.
helps you
bring
see things.
clarity.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we are about bringing clarity and using our wealth of knowledge to help you.
Yeah. And the tarot cards very much act as mirrors,
Yes, 100%.
you know?
Whether you like them or not.
Yeah, whether you like the warts in them or not, we all have some warts, trust me.
Because they're very truthful sometimes.
Exactly. Now, the other beginning is the beginning of the arcana, which is the Fool. The
Oh.
major arcana, I
I
meant.
threw the wheel and death out too.
Oh, okay. So then Fool. Because a lot of times people laugh. I don't know if you find this when people get the Fool, they go, haha, are you
Yeah.
saying I'm a fool?
Well, we are the fool.
We are all the fool. Yeah, I mean, the angels know it. Some people walking this planet knows you're a fool.
But we're the fool that start the path. I love like when you take a tarot course, or at least when you take a tarot course, you talk about the fool's path and that journey, and like you become the enlightened fool at the end.
Yes.
So like when people are like, "Oh, I'm the fool," haha, I'm like, no. You're the unenlightened fool.
Yeah,
you
you're
haven't
the fool
gone
on
through
your
the
journey.
yet.
Yeah, exactly. And it might be that you've started your journey, but maybe there's a next level that you're going to be starting. The Fool is really our inner child, because our inner child carries everything. Remember I said earlier, for our inner monologues, it carries everything we say? Well, it carries every trauma that you've ever had. It carries every award you've ever had, every success you've ever had. She or he carries it all. And so they're very much like our subconscious is the part of our brain that doesn't filter. It takes everything in. And that's why we dream in pictures. Because if our subconscious had to tell us about our day with words,
We'd be on here forever.
yeah, we'd have to sleep for a week at a time just for one day.
Meanwhile, one day could be one picture.
Exactly. So that's why we dream in pictures, because it is a picture's worth 1,000 words kind of thing. So it's very much a door opening. It doesn't mean you're an unenlightened fool, it just means you're not enlightened yet. And that's okay. We're all masterpieces in the works.
I like the Wildwood deck. It's called the Wanderer.
Oh, nice. The wanderer, the seeker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. That's beautiful. And you know, the old saying, all those who wander are not always lost.
Yep. Agreed.
I think I'm kind of paraphrasing it, but it's close enough to that.
Tolkien, if you want to know who said that.
Ah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if
Cool.
you want to look up the original one.
C.S. Tolkien.
No.
Oh, no.
J.R. Tolkien.
J.R. Tolkien.
C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis, thank you. I was getting my fantasy writers confused there. Okay, so the closing, so when a door opens, a window has to close, or vice versa.
Ooh, okay.
So nines are the traditional sort of, we're just closing the window a little bit, and that's okay. And that's the Nine of Pentacles there. I love this girl because I always jokingly say, well, you know, she's in her garden. She's got her falcon, as we all have one. And she's got a money bush, which she just picks coins off of. Which is,
Mine's interesting. I have to spend more time with this deck because it's less Rider-Waite Smith than I thought.
Okay.
So this is about a girl. So the Fool in this deck is blind, and as she goes through, she becomes sighted. I think is how that works.
that's the Fool?
No, this is the Pentacle or
Nine of Pentacles.
The Fool is this one.
Yeah, your Fool's also blindfolded though, too.
Yeah. So she goes through the deck blindfolded, and as she gets enlightened, she kind of like even in like the Nine of Cups, she's like doing some meditative closed eye thing. But I find
Oh,
interesting
nice.
in the Nine of Pentacles, her one eye is open.
Okay.
So
So your
we're-
eyes start to open and
Yeah.
see
And
things
the Nine
as they
of
really are.
Wands, she's opened, but like one of the angels is helping her.
Oh, okay, cool.
No.
Awesome. Well, my Nine of Swords is, this deck is very, Rider-Waite Smith.
Coded.
Well, coded,
Yeah.
thank you. So she, you know, she's sitting up in her bed, she's got the 9 swords above her head. So it's sort of like you've got the solution, because there's an owl that comes to her window. This one's just flying in. Traditionally speaking, it's just sitting on the sill. But the owl is you found the solution. And then the 9 of Wands, I really love, because I always imagine he's bowing before his queen.
Ooh. Nine of Wands.
He's won the battle because he's got the support and men behind him that are coming off the battlefield, and he's bowing before his queen. So I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the sun is just setting or the sun is just rising. Who knows, right?
So in the traditional Rider-Waite Smith, typically the nines are being carried. The Nine of Wands, you're carrying. Nine of
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
true. You're right. And
No, I
and
just- in
they're
my own
usually
head.
about ready to put the
Wands. Yeah, you're like, all right, I'm done with this.
Yes, exactly. And then the 9 of Cups is the guy ready to have a party. He's ready to celebrate. He's closed the window and he's gotten the kegs out and he's ready to have a party. Now, there's another beginning. Oh, here's the burden one.
Oh, I'm thinking of the 10.
You
Sorry.
think of the two. That's okay. I was agreeing with you. So the 10s are also an ending, but they're always an ending with a gift. So what I love about the 10s, so you can see this guy, traditionally the swords are in his back. This one, they're just floating above, so it's not quite as harsh. But then you get to draw a card and see what your gift is. And I always love to draw the card.
I really like that. So like I've taken a few of that. So like, do pentacles also, or no, pages also bring messages?
Yeah, they bring messages. So I
So,
love drawing
yeah,
and seeing
okay.
what the message is.
And
yeah.
I really think that offers clarity too sometimes, because like especially with something like a free card, you're only getting a snapshot, and sometimes we'll still leave with questions. Where if you bring that extra card, it offers some clarity. and
Yeah,
some-
100%. Plus, you know, as a reader, I find you get excited. Hello? Did I hear a knock?
I thought I did.
Okay. Let me just see if someone's there. Hold on.
Oh, that's for dramatic
I'll
effect.
entertain you. No, I guess there's nobody here. Okay.
Okay.
So what I really like about some of these cards, like you said, the pages, the 10s, the aces as well, is it brings an excitement to the reader too, right? So, and when you know, oh, great, you get an extra card, the client also gets excited, and that's a great energy to be in. So when you draw that extra card, I find it's
often very precise because of the good kind of excitement that we're bringing around the tarot. Because sometimes people come to tarot with fear.
Yep.
And that's not a great energy to be in. I understand.
I see that there's apprehension, especially if you've never had a reading before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you may have had, unfortunately, a negative experience.
Yes.
Hopefully that's not with one of us, because we definitely strive to not provide negative experiences.
Yeah. It doesn't mean bad things won't be in the reading.
Yep.
Because life brings, trauma and some shocks and storms here and there, but we try to deliver them in a gentle way if we can. and here's the card Kayla was talking about, the 10 of Wands.
Yep.
So what I love about this is not only do you get a gift, but you also are putting down a huge burden you have been carrying for quite some time. And there's usually deer in this one, there is in this one, in the tarot decks, because deer represent peace.
Okay.
So it means a moment of peace is coming to you. So there's a bit of, sometimes it can be as much of as a sacred pause, like maybe you've lost something, a job, a partner, a family member through death or whatever, and you need to take that time, which I call sacred pause, and allow yourself to be in grief, to be in, sadness or
you are grieving over like what was the routine. So you're wanting to process before moving on.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't give ourselves that.
No. Well, like in September, as you know, last September, I closed down my brick and mortar shop, and I knew going into it that I needed to give myself some time. What I didn't know is that every week in September, I would lose somebody. It's like, I stopped the first week, the second week my cousin died, the third week my uncle died, the fourth week my cat died. And I'm not kidding. That was all bam, bam, bam.
Well, the universe was like, hey, while we're here,
Yeah.
here's a whole bunch of stuff to deal with.
So October and November
Yeah.
were my sacred pause.
Yeah.
And just yesterday, I got back into my art studio and I sat down. And at first, I was just going to organize. And I'm like, I'm ready to create again.
Good.
Yeah. But I allowed, like, a little bit in December, I was like, oh, I should be doing stuff. And then I'm like, no, don't should yourself. Give yourself the time that you need. And I was busy enough with Christmas, and I had a party every weekend. It was
Good for you.
I know. I was a popular girl this Christmas. Not to even mention the family stuff, right? So, yeah, I was okay. I kept telling myself, it's okay. You'll get there when you get there,
Yeah.
right? And
Well, that's like-
yesterday was when I got there.
Since we shut down you shut down the shop and I used to work out of the shop.
Yes. So
I've
when
slowed
we
down offering like Reiki because I just don't have the space in the house.
Right.
So unless I'm going to someone else's house, I don't have a space right now. So I'm doing either online or invite me to your house.
Right.
And that's not like I have to. We can totally do it online. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
But it definitely has slowed down and made me like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to continue? And I definitely do. Like I thought
Nice.
about it. I thought about like, what if I gave it up? What if like was this the season for it? And I was like, nope.
Yeah. And sometimes you just have to pivot in a different way of doing it,
Yep.
right? And yeah, because I went out for breakfast with Marilyn.
Nice.
So she's another big tarot reader in Kingston. And she and I, yeah, she's awesome. And she and I had a great like we've seen each other and known about each other for years. She's had me when she had her TV show a few times.
I remember one of those I was there for.
Yeah, I was on there, I think 2 or 3 times. I can't quite remember. But anyways, we had never actually gone out for coffee or breakfast.
That surprises me.
I know. We've known each other for years. We've had some good chats at like different
different shows and stuff.
Yeah,
But you guys have
but-
never actually like sat down and just gone for coffee?
No.
Wow.
So
That
I'm like,
floors me.
this is the year we're doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you
I think
guys
we've
did.
talked about it a couple times, but never came to fruition.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was great because we were there probably a couple of hours
Mm-hmm.
and just, talk shop and, shared some war stories, so to speak.
That's fair. You almost need someone like, because my husband gets to see the teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but like I have friends who have no idea what I do for a day job and don't understand why I'm so exhausted at the end of the day.
Right.
And I'm like, I get that you're exhausted in whatever field that you work in, but I'm like, next to like doctors and nurses, we have to be like, because we're constantly like adjusting and being asked questions and 5 people talking to me. Like I looked at my coworker today and was like, how do people who don't have ADHD survive this job?
Right.
Because I know I can pivot. I can
Right.
have like one conversation with one kid, remind myself that I need to do this, and still have a third kid going, hey, over here, can you help me?
Right.
And I'm
right.
like, this is the only way I survive.
Right. Right.
So it's like, it's really, like, everyone needs a person within their field to just be like, be
yeah.
relevant too.
And as tarot card readers, often you're very isolated.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a lot of other readers that you talk to on a regular, or if there is, they're often viewed as competition, whether by them or
Mm-hmm.
you or whatever. And we don't want to give all our secrets away, kind of thing.
Well, and I don't think talking with each other is necessarily giving secrets away, but I could understand where people are, aloof about it.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, there's tons of tarot card groups on Facebook. One, they're all tarot card readers, so there's no point in advertising
Yeah.
your business in there because we're all tarot card readers.
Actually, most of them actually say don't advertise unless there is an approved post. So I'm a part of a couple of them that'll be like, today, shill your shit Sunday is when you can post what you do and what's your like favorite reading.
Nevertheless, they're all tarot readers. They're not people looking for tarot
Yeah.
readers. So you're advertising to your competition.
Yeah.
And approved readers means they pay a monthly fee. Because I was an approved tarot reader for a while in a group, but I had to pay a monthly fee.
So it's a way to get money.
It's a way for the admin to get,
get
money.
money.
Yeah.
Which I
And-
mean, I get, like if you're gonna, but I mean, I just.
But at the same time, when I was paying the monthly fee and I was allowed to post about my business, I was still posting to my competition.
Yeah.
I
And
wasn't
not
posting to
people-
new customers
yeah, new
or anything like
customers.
that, right?
Yeah, that's interesting.
So yeah, it's kind of an interesting dynamic. And also, those that are like, we're just here to support each other and help each other, blah, blah, blah. I don't see a lot of, well, what if this came up? What would you say kind of thing? Or if they do say that, there's a lot of infighting as to,
So that's interesting when you say, because like some social sites are like that. I'm a part of, we're not on a big social, like it's an app. Like they moved from like their own website hosting the community. They outgrew that and had to go to an app within the last couple of years. And so they just made that transition over. And so there's a lot of still hiccuping on the back end.
Okay,
but like
yeah.
on the
That's
front end, it's really seamless and it's done really, really well.
Oh, nice.
So it's a bunch of Reiki practitioners.
Oh,
because we're
okay.
all in various levels of like practicing and learning and then like learning from each other and then like sharing our wins and like what was your magic moment of the month and like
Okay. Nice.
I'm struggling with this, can you send me some energy? So like I find it really refreshing because it's not, yes, you're talking to your competition, but like it's your competition, but it's not because you're dealing with everyone from like all over the world. And we're all navigating like finding clients and figuring out how we're going to practice and things like that. So it's more of a community rather than like a competition.
yeah, because there was someone that you and I mutually know who tried to start a group of, let's help each other grow our businesses. And it went okay at first, but then it kind of petered.
Yep.
Because again, I don't think people want to share
What they're doing.
what they're doing.
Well, because they're and that's it, right? Because like I'm looking back at some of the notes that I took from one course last year or the year before, and like it's like how to get over imposter syndrome and like I'm a lot better with imposter syndrome now, but I like to review my notes because I'm like because like I've paused. Not offering a lot of readings, but like I don't do as many readings as I did when the store was open. So I've got the time to be like, okay, like do I want to like highlight a certain special or do I want to like just figuring out what I want everything to look like with it being January. And it's like, hey, like what are you doing for your business and da 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 da. But I don't want that to be a competition thing. I want that to be
Yeah.
like, let's have coffee, let's build each other up,
Mm-hmm.
because not that many people are in that position of, but it's because it's seen a lot of as competition.
Yeah.
But I'm really like, let's just come together as a community.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad I have the community over here.
Yeah.
Where I can be like, hey, what do you guys think of this? And like, for example, today we were talking about pricing, and someone was looking at practitioners in their area. And so to take the course without, so like, for example, Reiki, to take their first level Reiki without certification, don't ask me how to figure that out. It's one price. If you want your certification, it's a different price.
Oh, I see.
I was
Okay.
like, what?
Right, right.
How does that work?
Yeah, I guess it's like, so you just want to do friends and family, or do you want to actually make a business of this, maybe?
But like,
But I thought,
if you do the work, you should get the certificate.
yeah, I would have thought that too.
Like, that's my gut reaction.
It's
like,
a way of, it's sort of like if you make the craft and you want to keep it.
you got to pay a fee. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's that.
It's that.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Just had a mind meld moment. But I found it bizarro because I was like, what is going? So like, I'm glad I have.
It's a money grab.
It's totally a money grab.
Yeah, yeah.
It's totally money. And I've only reached out to like one place to possibly, and we just haven't connected because it's been crazy over Christmas and New
Yeah.
Year's and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna like the end of January, I'm gonna take a couple classes at this one space and then go, hey, like, can I book your space for X amount of money?
Right.
And see if I have it in the budget, because I'm poor come summer.
Right.
I am traditionally unemployed because school's out.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just bubbles my brain.
Yeah, yeah.
Bubbles my
that's-
brain. I
that's
like
weird.
the idea because like you're a part of some greater business communities in Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
So like outside of the like spiritual, because we're rather nitpicky and more competitive rather than supportive, traditionally.
Yeah.
Are other people like that, or is it different?
Well, it's sort of like, if you go to one hairdresser and she does your hair, and then you go to another hairdresser, that hairdresser will say, "What did the last one do to you?"
Yeah.
It's sort of a little bit like that.
Okay.
Right?
I see what you're saying.
It's not a sign of maturity by any means.
No, no, but and I'm not saying that like one is better than the other, but I was just wondering if you took kind of the spirituality out of it, does the competitiveness go down, or is it just wrapped up in a different frame?
It's sort of like, for me, I often find yoga teachers need the yoga the most than the students going. Not to insult any yoga teachers, but I mean, you often learn what you need for yourself. Like I learned tarot because I needed tarot. Because what tarot, it wasn't the cards necessarily that taught me anything. They did, trust me. But they put me in front of a lot of teachers I needed to have in my life, and a lot of mentors I needed to have in my life that helped me heal to the place where I'm at today, right? And same thing with meditation. When I really started taking meditation seriously, it was for my own benefit. And it's sort of like when you see a good movie, you want to tell everybody about it. Oh, you got to go see this movie. It's
Yeah.
the best movie ever.
But not everyone's gonna get what you got out of that movie.
No, but they might come out and go, "Yeah, you're right. That was a great movie," or "Yeah, you're right. It was an okay movie." And,
Yeah.
You know.
No, I find that interesting because you're right. Like, I live and breathe Reiki because it works. And it works for me. That I want to be like, everyone should try it.
She's very good at it.
Thank you. I don't like throw it down your throat. I go, hey, this is something that's worked for me. If you're open to it, let's chat. If you're not, totally get it. But I think it's interesting because it has so many benefits
It does.
across multiple
Disciplines, yeah.
multiple disciplines. There's studies coming out more in the UK rather than Canada and the US.
And it's not a spiritual practice.
no.
There's some that have put a spiritual spin on it, but Reiki at its most base form is not a spiritual practice. It's a life practice.
Honestly, as a Reiki practitioner, I take chi, energy, life force, whatever you want to call it, channel it down through me to you. I am just the conduit. I am not saying I'm the healer. I'm saying Reiki sessions can be healing,
Absolutely. But they have to be open to it.
but they have to be open to it.
It's
and-
sort of like a physiotherapist.
Yep.
you wouldn't say a physiotherapist is a spiritual thing.
No.
Reiki is very much like that, and I love that the UK has full Reiki clinics because they've recognized it's really an important part of the healthcare system.
And it's a part of the healthcare system that we've been ignoring.
Oh yeah, well we're ignoring a lot in our healthcare
Yes.
system.
Very true. Very true.
In fact, we're taking more away than we are putting in.
And that's never a good thing.
Yeah.
No, and I feel like as you said, like I found things when I needed them and it's made a substantial impact in my life. Therefore I'm like, you should try it. But I would never like be like, oh, you're not a good person if you don't try it, or like whatever. Like you have
Yeah.
to want to, you have to be open to it.
The reason why you recommend it is because you know it works. You're passionate about it. You want other people to feel as good as you have felt after a Reiki session.
Exactly.
Just like same reason you recommend a good book, a good movie, a good restaurant. You know, try the food. It's going to make you feel great.
Oh, food is an amazing way to like get people connected and
Yes.
feeling great.
Nothing like breaking bread together.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, I was thinking of starting up the tarot dinner club.
You so should. I don't know if my wallet will appreciate that, but you so should.
We can do the odd one at McDonald's or something.
Yeah. Be like tarot dinner and then like discount tarot.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've been here an hour and a half already.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, the last two are the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Both beautiful cards. Lots of money, lots of golden cups and rainbows. Love that.
I
And
love mine.
Sorry?
Her, so
Yeah.
like you know how I said her eyes are closed for majority of the cards. They're open in the tens.
Oh, because 10s are the closing with a gift.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Now, the ultimate closing of a door is, of course, the death card. And I was just reading in a book this morning that death is a true life mystery.
Ooh.
And none of us know what death holds.
No.
We've come up with stories of what death holds, you know. Some of us say there's a heaven or a hell. Some of us say there's a new life to move on to. Did you know purgatory didn't come in
Until Dante's Inferno,
until the 1400s?
which when was Dante's Inferno?
I'm not sure.
Now I'm gonna have to look that up.
I know of Dante's Inferno and the 9 gates of hell or whatever it is, 9 circles of hell. But I'm not sure when it was written. But the church issued a bull saying that purgatory exists. I think it was the 13 or 1400s because the church was very corrupt back then.
We'll see if I have.
We think it's corrupt now.
Oh
Nothing-
yeah, I was saying
Nothing compared to what it
now.
was, because they used to sell indulgences, they called them, so that you wouldn't have to go to purgatory.
Oh.
Because you bought this slip of paper. How you're getting that slip of paper in front of the St. Peter there at the pearly gates going,
Okay,
"But I
so
bought
if
my way
spirits
out."
can't like physically touch stuff, how you getting that slip of paper up to St. Peter?
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's too funny. Divine Comedy. No, when was 14th century narrative poem?
Oh, yeah, so 1300s, there you go. Yeah, so it's the 1300s when the Catholic Church recognized that there was a purgatory. Now, they are saying in modern day now, maybe there isn't a purgatory. I kind of like the idea of purgatory. I mean, if you're doing the heaven and hell thing, you can't just go to heaven or hell. You know, like purgatory, if you don't know what it is a place that souls go when you've lived your life, and none of us are perfect, that you sort of atone for some of the sins you've done, right? So it's a holding place until you can go to heaven. So you're going to go to heaven, but you just got to do these few
things first.
Herculean chores before you can get through.
Love it. Sure.
And I'm like, I mean, if I believed in heaven and hell, I would like to know that there's a holding place where I can make up for what I did wrong, rather than, no, you did wrong, off to hell you go.
So it's that extra second chance.
Exactly.
The very last one you're ever gonna get.
Yeah. This is the last one, God will say, and I promise you. Sort of like the parent, behave or you won't get the lollipop.
like, okay, sorry, no, I need to keep that shut because that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay quiet because I love this conversation, but we need to pin this for
Yeah,
another time.
we'll pin it till next week.
I love this plan. Okay. Well, we hope that you have had a wonderful time with us. We have had so much fun.
Yes.
Here back again, and hopefully we'll do this a little more regularly
Yeah,
in the future.
yeah, absolutely. We'll try and do it a weekly thing, but we are in Canada and there are such things as snowstorms.
Yeah.
So,
So if the buses are canceled, it's probably not a good idea to drive.
yes, exactly. And Kayla should probably just get her little butt home with her little corgi butt.
Yep, my little corgi is waiting for me. Josh sent me a picture of him looking out the window because we had rearranged our living room,
Oh.
so he didn't have a couch to look out the window.
Oh, no.
He was so upset.
I
He was like, "What
bet.
did you do to my couch?"
Yeah.
So Josh sent me a picture a little while ago that he had made his own little way to the window. Figured it out.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you for being here. Happy New Year. Like, subscribe, ring the fairy bell, all that good stuff. And we'll see you again next week, hopefully.
Yeah, have a good time.
Bye.
There it goes.
There we are.